This is the long O activity, ice cream cones. You should have a card with a green background and a picture of a girl and a man. You should also have a write and wipe marker. Today's activity will help you learn to recognize the sound we call long O. When the letter O makes a long O sound, it sounds like this. O. Say that with me. O. O. O in the middle and E at the end. That's how to spell long O, my friend. O followed by a silent A. That spells long O another way. Now look at the picture at the top of the card. What do you see? Yes, it's a picture of a girl and her father enjoying ice cream treats. Let's read a story about them. Follow along on your card as I read the story and touch each word when I say it. And as we read, I want you to keep your ears open for long O, O sounds. My dad took me to the ice cream shop. I put on my coat. We got in the car and Dad drove down the road. I ate an ice cream cone. Dad drank an ice cream float. We had a lot of fun. Then we came back home. Wow! That story had lots of long O words. I heard the O sound many times. I'm sure you did too. Now we're going to go back through the story and look for all the long O words. When we find one, you're going to write it on the card. Let's read the first sentence together. Listen for the O sounds. My dad took me to the ice cream shop. Did you hear any long O words in that sentence? Neither did I. Let's read the next one. I put on my coat. Did you hear a long O word this time? Yes, the last word in the sentence, coat. Find the word coat and put your finger on it. Let's sound it out together. K-O-T. Coat has the O sound in the middle. Look at the word again. How is the O sound spelled? The long O sound in coat is spelled with an O and an A. Words that have the O sound often have the letters O and A next to each other. The A doesn't make any sound of its own in these words. Instead, it tells you that the O in the word makes the long O sound. Go ahead and write coat on your card in one of the spaces in the OA column. Let's read the next sentence together. We got in the car and Dad drove down the road. Did you hear any long O words in that sentence? Put your finger on the word drove. Say the word with me. Drove. Dr-O-V. Does drove have the O sound? Yes, it does. But drove doesn't use an O and an A to spell the long O sound. Instead, the long O sound in drove is spelled with an O in the middle of the word and an E at the end. The E at the end of drove doesn't make any sound of its own. It just tells you that the O makes the O sound. Go ahead and write the word drove in the column labeled O blank E. There's one more word in this sentence that has the O sound. Put your finger on it. Are you touching the word road? If not, put your finger on road now. Listen for the O sound as we say the word together. Road. R-O-D. Write road on your card. Make sure you put it in the correct column. If you wrote it in the first column, good job, because road is spelled R-O-A-D. If you need to correct your answer, you may do it now. Spell road with me and touch each letter as we say it. R-O-A-D. You're doing excellent work. I think you can find the other long O words on your own. But first, let's read the whole story together again. Follow along with your finger and listen for more words with the O sound in them. My dad took me to the ice cream shop. I put on my coat. We got in the car and Dad drove down the road. I ate an ice cream cone. Dad drank an ice cream float. We had a lot of fun. Then we came back home. Now read the story again by yourself and write down any more words that you find that have the long O sound. Be sure to write each word in the correct column depending on how the O sound is spelled. That was terrific. There were 3 more words in this story with the long O sound. Let's see if you found them all. O in the middle and E at the end. That's how to spell long O, my friend. O followed by a silent A. That spells long O another way. In the OA column, you already had coat and road. Did you add float to that column? Sound it out with me. Float. Float. Float has a long O sound in the middle. If you didn't already have float in the first column, write it there now. Now let's spell float together. Touch each letter as we say it. F-L-O-A-T. Float. Did you find cone? Let's say it together. K-O-N. Cone. The long O sound in cone is spelled with an O in the middle and an E at the end. So you should have written it in the second column under the O blank E heading. Spell cone with me. C-O-N-E. Cone. There was one more word in this story with the long O O sound. Did you find it? It was the very last word, home. Home has the O sound, and it's spelled with an O in the middle and an E at the end. If you wrote home in the second column, you got it right. Let's spell home together. H-O-M-E. Home. Let's review the words you learned. In all of the words in the first column, the O sound is spelled with an O and an A. Let's read those words together. Coat, road, float. The long O words in the second column all have an O in the middle and an E at the end. Let's read them now. Drove, cone, home. Well done! You worked hard listening for the O sound. O in the middle and E at the end. That's how to spell long O, my friend. O and A is another way. You learn 6 long O words today. That's the end of this activity. For the rest of the day, listen and look for more long O words. You'll be surprised at how many you find.